I think we are now live.
Yay! We've made it. We're live.
I tell you what, man. Sometimes setting this thing up, man, it can be a bit of a game. But listen, mate. Before we start,
Yeah.
Waiting for your video to reappear. Actually, where's he gone? Oh, there you are. You've got to do a pose. You've got to strike a pose for Facebook. So
The standard pose.
yeah. So 3, 2, 1. What's that? I'm not even going to ask who's behind you with a face like that you put in, man. Oh dear. Right, guys, I am so pleased today to have the man himself, the one and only Glenn Clowes. This guy is actually a self-taught web developer. And by self-taught, I mean, this is a guy who used to study the internet when the internet was still in its infancy, because he wanted to know how it worked. And there's not much that he doesn't know. An absolutely brilliant advocate to have if you're stuck. And I've called upon him many, many times. And I've got some interesting information about him from when he was younger.
Oh dear.
I might share with you later. But Glenn,
oh dear.
Man, listen, man, I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you, man. It's really good to see you today, mate.
Thank you very much.
Your office is absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
How come you haven't invited me down there?
Because that's not the real background, Nigel.
Oh, you burst the bubble, man. All these guys are thinking, yeah, man, this guy's made it, man. Look at his office. It's huge. It's that big. He hasn't got anyone there with him.
It is actually in progress, so it will be real shortly. The plant and the books are in the post, as we say.
So have you got like a green background then behind you?
No, it's using Zoom's built-in backgrounds, so they work pretty good. You just add your own image and
that's on your laptop?
Yeah.
It doesn't work on mine. It says my laptop's not high enough spec.
That's because it's not high enough spec, Nigel.
I don't like you. Right. As you guys can probably tell, me and Glenn go back a long way. In fact, we actually went to nursery together.
We did. Nursery, juniors, infants, everywhere.
Yeah, we went everywhere, man. We've got some stories to tell. I knew Glenn when Glenn had hair.
I've got hair somewhere.
And Glenn knew me when I had hair. But anyway, enough of that. We'll catch up properly afterwards, mate. So, Glenn, thank you for joining us today. Just going to give people a few more minutes to get on board. I think. Hi, Karen. Hope you're well, honey. Good morning, Marie Jenkins. She called us by our formal names, Nigel Campbell and Glenn Clowes. Thank you, Marie.
Oh, bless.
Dignified. Ernie, hey, I hope you well. Oh, Ernie, I do apologise. I've got to give you a call, mate. You did reach out to me last week. I do apologise. It was the week's just nuts. Definitely speak. After this, I'm going to phone you after we finished. So, Glenn, listen, man, let's get started. We've got a few people on now. Tell us, what does your business do? What does Freecom, website design, internet services, which I got completely wrong this morning. What do you do?
Right. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for bringing me on, Nigel. And I'd like to say hello to everybody in the group. Nice to see you all here. Freecom Internet Services Limited. We specialize in building websites that generate traffic from potential customers who are searching the internet for your most profitable products and services.
Ooh, and it says that behind you.
It certainly does.
Oh, you snob.
But yeah, in a nutshell, that's what we do. Compared to other web design companies who just want to build fancy websites, it's important to Freecom that when you have a website, it generates an income for the business, because at the end of the day, that's what you originally intend for a website to do.
You're speaking my language, man. That's why I like you. We're almost like kind of like twins sometimes. But yeah, and I'm an advocate of that. The thing is, some people have a website built and it doesn't even get submitted to a search engine.
Yeah.
And then a year later they're saying, "Oh, my website's rubbish." And it's like, well, no one can find it. But that's fantastic. So obviously there's a lot of web designers out there, to a penny, half as many. What makes, the solution that you offer the best solution or the number one solution for anyone who's looking for a website?
Okay, let me try and paint a picture for you.
Mhm.
Web design is a very difficult thing to understand sometimes for somebody who's just getting into it and having their first website. So let's take that away, and let's imagine yourself, you're going to buy a new mobile phone. You want the best mobile phone, the most fantastic shiny device out there. You go to the shop, you purchase your phone, you get back home, you go and switch your phone on, and nothing happens. How would you feel?
I think I'll be going back down the shop with my boys.
Yep. So you go back down the shop, and they tell you, oh yes, you needed to buy the extra battery to put in the device. So you buy the battery, you put it in the device, you take it home, you switch it on, and nothing happens. How would you feel?
Well, I think by then, mate, depending on where the shop is, mate, I think, you know, the language might have changed to French. My hair would have probably started growing again or curling. I wouldn't be very impressed.
Exactly. And that is a bit like what most web design companies' strategies are when it comes to customers.
Okay.
They try to take advantage of the fact that they may not know much about it. So when to me, when a customer wants a website, they expect that website to not only look good, but they expect the website to actually do something that will benefit the business, usually make money. Now, if you're going to a shop and buying a mobile phone and they're telling you have to buy this extra part and this extra part and this extra part until you've actually got the shiny device you expected from the start, you're not going to be very happy. And this tends to happen with a lot of web design companies. You'll go to them for the new website and then, yeah, it's shiny, it's fantastic, it looks amazing, but nothing happens. You go back to the developers and they're, oh, well, you need to get traffic to the website. And then they'll offer you extra things like SEO, which is going to cost you more money. They'll turn around and say you need to make it mobile responsive. Again, it's going to cost you more money, which to me and Freecom, it's ridiculous. It leaves the customer with a bad taste. When they originally came to you, they expected to get a website that works for their company. So what makes Freecom number one is the fact that we recognize that, and we make sure that for our customers, they don't just get a brand new website. We do all the search engine optimization and build it in. We make sure that it's mobile responsive, and we ask the important questions like, what are the most profitable products and services to your business? Because if you can imagine doing that, if you've got to get less traffic to make more profit from the sales that you're doing. So yeah, that's how we do things, and we still take care of all those bread and butter products. We make sure that they're still listed on the internet, etc. But yep, that's what makes Freecom stand out from the crowd. We give you a one-shop solution to
Boom!
a whole website strategy for your business.
Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. And I'll tell you what, it's what I preach. It's what I preach to a lot of business owners myself. Always annoys me when I come across a business owner who's got a website, not even got a Google Analytics set up,
Yep.
or a website, and you know, oh, you've been submitted to Google but not Bing and all the other 2,000 search engines which make a difference in directories. And I really advocate that. And one of the things, because we've worked with clients together, I advocate, if you're going to have a website, don't think of, oh, I'm going to spend as little as possible. Think of, I'm going to spend what I need to spend so I haven't got to spend again.
Yep, and what I find, especially speaking to a lot of the potential customers, even ones that have had websites, they'll go to these. I mean, it's great that they'll start and they'll go to the free service providers and whatnot, but they'll have had experience of having a website through companies that start with the name W or Y.
Oi!
They
Be careful, I don't want to get
Yep.
sued, you know.
Yep, they'll have those websites from those people, and they'll look fantastic. They'll work hard to make it look good, but it doesn't get the traffic that's required to generate an income for the business.
But there is an argument. I mean, I know of several people who have had some success with the W websites, and you can optimize. I know you've got to put a lot more work into optimize them and so on and so forth. I think as a starting point, if budget truly is an issue, I think I've advised my own clients, you know, if they can't afford what we offer, I've said to them, look, you know, go here, go here, go here. You can build your own site. It's going to cost you nothing, you know, because I think it's at least getting them onto the internet and it's getting their mindset ready to, okay, this is why I need to get my site built, because good God, trying to create this thing myself and opt-in boxes and funnels and traffic and SEO and all these other things, that's when they then realize, that's why I pay money for. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I say, the way that you deliver the solution is literally what I advocate. You know, I have web design customers, prospects all the time. It's the same methodology. You actually sound like you're me. Have you been listening to my conversations?
Maybe now and again.
Oh, you're Hey, Dan Hedges. Woo, woo, woo. Emma Kirkham. Hey, girl. I want to talk to you, Emma. I'm sure your name appeared in one of my emails last week. Someone was speaking very highly of you. So I'm hoping it's you. Or there's another Emma out there. But yeah, we'll have to have words, honey.
Going back to your point, Nigel, there's nothing wrong with using those free services. That's not what I'm saying. If somebody wants to go there to get started, that's fine. But they need to do it with the right knowledge.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that go to these services expecting that they're going to build a website. And we're talking about people here who've got no knowledge of search engine optimization. They've literally never done a website before. And they've got this feeling in their head that they can go to these three services, build these good looking websites, don't get me wrong, and that's it. That's all you need to do to have your presence.
Do you know who did a really effective advert and was pretty much saying that to people? GoDaddy, they had this advert for their web design service, and I think it was the celeb was on there and he's going, yeah man, look at my website, blah, blah. But and then they showed this website which looked fantastic, but what they didn't show was the work that went into building that website.
Well, this is it. This is it, Nigel. For one of those free services to work, you've got to have the knowledge and experience of basically somebody who's a web developer to get the most from it. Because I have a belief that a website traffic equals more leads, which equals more sales. It's something that I say everywhere. If you haven't got the traffic coming to your website, you're going to get a lot less leads and hardly anybody will contact you. And that's it for sales. Then you've got a very difficult job. So the more traffic you get, the easier it is for the company, basically.
It's all about the traffic, baby. I like it. Simon Toon! Hey, my man.
Hi,
hope
Simon.
You're well. Hope you're good, mate. I'm really glad to hear that you finally got your app launched and out there now. Wishing you every success. Like I said to you before, if you need any help, give me a shout, young man. My ear is yours. In fact, my voice is yours. I can even make calls for you, sir. So, Glenn.
Excuse me.
Glenn.
Nigel.
Challenges. As a sales leader at Freecom, because I know obviously your transition to being there is it's a fantastic story, and I'll tell you what, we won't go through today, but most certainly next time you come on, we'll start with the story, how your path that led you to Freecom. Because guys, honestly, I'm not even joking, it's absolutely amazing. The way Glenn's ended up now, it's honestly, I feel like his dad. I'm that proud of him. But Glenn, tell us about some of the challenges you've had to overcome as a sales leader at Freecom.
Well, it basically didn't help. The fact that 2 days after I actually first entered the office at Freecom is when the COVID lockdown started. The same old story of the COVID lockdown starting. We've only recently got back to the office in the past couple of weeks. So that was one of the biggest hurdles to overcome. The fact that it was a new job role for me within a company and having to meet a new team, which I must say, the team here at Freecom, they are fantastic. If it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. We've got a fantastic person in accounts, so I won't say their names in case they don't want me to, but we've got a person in accounts that every time I get a sale, this person sorts it out for me, which is a nightmare gone. We've got a dedicated support team here. The person on support his knowledge for a support person it's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Wow.
He in his own right can be a web developer as well if he wanted to.
Wow. And that's the thing. I mean, having that kind of skill set within the workforce, it's invaluable, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and then I've got the web designer who is a genius. Sometimes he might need a little push in the right direction. I'm sure he'll agree with that. But he is a genius,
Wow.
and when it comes to telling somebody what your vision is and having somebody create it can be a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And he has very quickly learned that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to some of the descriptions, but when I say this is what I want, he goes and creates it. So that's been brilliant.
So you found somebody who understands you, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll let you into a secret, guys. Glenn used to speak in ones and zeros, so he'd be like, Glenn, what day are you about? 1-0-0-0-1-1-1-0. You'd be like, just go away, man. You know I'm not lying.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So your team basically help you with any challenges that come up, and again, I suppose that advocates having a team if you can. In your business, have a team, because like you say, they take a lot of pressure off you. They do the onboarding, they do all the stuff which would like slow you down. And the great thing is, you're talking about this web designer who's a genius, but I know as a web designer, you're also a genius. How do two geniuses coexist in the same space without there being sparks and friction? I mean, tell me more.
Well, yeah. Let's put it this way: we did a relaunch of the website. As the web designer was building the website, I would say well over halfway through the project for the website, I decided that we weren't going to use it. Yeah, so imagine what the web designer thought about that. He'd been literally working a few months on the website itself, and I decided that no, that wasn't going to be up to my expectations and to take a completely different direction.
Oh my
and
God.
As a thorough professional, he took it straight on the chin and developed exactly what the directors here at Freecom wanted to see, which for me was that was a bit of an icing on the cake of getting
Fantastic.
to know the web designer, of course.
Fantastic. You know, and he sounds like a nice enough guy, but he didn't bring you like dodgy sandwiches every time you told him off and says, you know, redo the site. So
no, the thorough professionals here, they're very good.
Oh, fantastic, man. Fantastic. Okay, so someone is crazy enough to start a business now, post-COVID. What is the advice you would give somebody right now who was looking to start a business?
Well, first of all, I would tell people not to listen to the people that are saying, "Oh, this COVID, nothing's happening. You can't do anything while COVID's happening. There's no business," because it's completely wrong. You can, number one, start. Number two, get into contact with people. That's what it's all about. It's about building up the people that you can actually promote your products and services to. It's the first thing I did. As soon as I got here, I knew that we had no database of people to be able to contact. So I had to basically find databases, build them up myself, contact these people, and that's what I did. I built my portfolio of people to contact.
So what did you do? Because obviously, because COVID came, and I suppose a lot of businesses just were like, we ain't going in. I mean, what happened? I mean, when was it when you started calling? What, the third week of March? When did you actually get to speak to another human being? Then when were people like back listening, taking calls?
Virtually straight away, because we have existing customers. So I targeted the existing customers, just sent them an email asking them how they was getting on. I had a look at their websites. A lot of them had old websites from years and years ago, and have never changed them. So I just basically contacted them, let them know what disadvantage there was to what they were doing.
Yeah.
And letting them know how they would benefit from having an upgraded website from Freecom. So that's what we did, and then from that, basically, it just steamed up. All the existing customers were available via email or phone or some form of or method of contact.
And I think you've hit on a very valuable point there, because I again see a lot of this. Websites need to be updated, plugins need to be updated. you know, 4 years ago or 3 years ago, HTTPS wasn't a thing. Now it is. So if you haven't got a site that's got an SSL certificate, chances are Google's going to show your site and put not secure in the corner, which means that anyone who goes there for the first time is going to think, oh my God, I'm going to get hacked, and come straight off it. If you don't update your plugins, guess what? It's open vulnerability to hackers. Why don't customers do this? What's
Because it's basically the web design people that get told this. If you in the background of doing web design for a company, you will be getting information from people like Google and other search engines directly, and they will tell you to do this. But this information isn't used by a lot of web design companies to actually promote what they can do for a business, and go and tell them that they need to do this. This is what I did with our existing customers. I contacted them, exactly what you're saying, explain the fact that you're not mobile responsive, you haven't got SSL secure connections, explained how that the search engines would actually put your ranking lower than the competition. So if your object is to be better than the competition out there, which I would hope every business that is their object, then just doing a few simple things would automatically help drive the traffic to their website, as well as giving them a fantastic new looking website, of course.
Honestly, every time I speak to you, I've got so much questions. Okay, is there such a thing as a future-proof website?
No.
So eventually at some stage within 10 years, you'd have to update, upgrade, or change your website. Is that what you're saying?
It is recommended that every 3 to 5 years that you upgrade your website. Number one, just to keep it looking fresh and modern. Styles change. Just like fashion changes, you have to keep up with the times. If people come to your website and they think the website is dated, they think that the service that you offer is dated, and it doesn't always portray the correct message that you're trying to deliver to your potential customers.
You see, you're talking and I'm thinking about my website, man. I'm thinking, damn, it's time for a refresh. we'll talk afterwards. Bloody salesman. I'm sick of you bloody salespeople. Who else we got? Hey, Alfie, I hope you're well, honey. Okay, so last question. So, you know, and I'm going to say thank you for coming on for so long. I mean, you know, we've talked and we've had a good deep talk, and I hope, guys, that you've had some what I call zingers from what Glenn said. He's really passed on some real powerful information. You know, because a lot of businesses do fall into the trap of cheapest, getting half a service. You know, there's a certain company that begins with a Y that will sell you a website that you'll never actually own. But every year you'll keep paying them money, and the website ain't great. And when you want things changed on it, it doesn't happen. And then they'll say to you, oh, you need to have our other service. And that'll then cost you probably as much as the website, if not more. And that's the thing, guys, you know, you can use what you're spending more effectively.
Yes, you can.
So, you know, make sure you're making the right choices. Marie Jenkins says, great point, Glenn. Thank you, Marie. Even though I'm not
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Glenn, is there anything that the group can help you with right now?
Yes, you could tell other companies and businesses about how we can benefit them with having a good, well-made website that helps generate leads for your business.
You sound so cool, man. So measured, man. So measured.
The more people that know that, that's going to be good for Freecom, but it's important to us. We're kind of tired, really, of hearing people who have had websites that it's been a bad experience for them. I'm sure you've heard it yourself, Nigel. You've got people out there, oh, I've had a website, they're no good. And it's a shame, and it's usually because they've gone and used one of those other free services.
Or the quality of the web provider.
Designer in the first place.
And to be fair, and I was speaking to someone this week about that, it's not always the web designer's fault, because if you're a graphical designer and you can create beautiful websites, you're not a marketer. So why are you going to create a website which has got marketing and SEO and all those things? Because you probably don't know that that's what should go into it. But hey, your website looks beautiful, man. I'd like that hung on my wall. It's just, oh wow.
Well, that's why I'm here, Nigel. I'm here to explain to potential customers that the most fantastic looking website in the world isn't going to do any good for a business if it's not getting the traffic that it deserves. It's a bit like having a fancy sports car and sticking it inside a garage. Nobody's going to see it. Website traffic equals more leads, equals more sales.
Love it, mate. You know something? And on that note, I'm going to end. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We had a fair few comments in. I've gone through most of them. Please feel free to comment afterwards. You know, watch this video back. Glenn has given you some zingers, man. Seriously. It's like listening to myself. But I hope you really enjoyed it. I was going to share a secret about Glenn. In fact, I will share. Glenn used to have the voice of an angel. He could have, and he did, give Alan Jones a run for his money. But unfortunately, he became a teenager and that beauty went. But hey, and on that note, we're going to, Karen says, I don't think she's answering that one, but she says useful information. Maybe she's going to blackmail you. So on that note, listen, members, thank you so much for joining us. Glenn, drop your links in, Facebook, website, all your bits. If you've got any landing pages that you want people to have a look at, so they can get a bit more understanding of what you can provide, drop it in there. Don't go anywhere because we'll have a little debrief afterwards. Guys, thank you for joining us. And next week, I have the wonderful Sarah Powers. Maybe I might have somebody on Tuesday, but we'll see. Well, have a wonderful bank holiday, and I shall catch up with you all some point over the weekend. Take care, guys.
Bye, everyone.